So let me share my screen here. I'm just on a new Google tab. And from here, I'm going to go to, let's start with monster.com, and then we'll do Indeed. And then from there, you'll kind of get the gist of what to do. So basically, when you get here, you want to search for jobs, okay? You may not know a keyword or title yet of what you want to do. If you know that you want to stay in Spokane, or you may know that you want to get out of here and go somewhere else, either way, you can start searching in different areas, okay? So let's say I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but I do know one student shared with me over the last few days that she has an interest in cosmetology or makeup. Okay, so literally I could type in just a keyword, makeup or makeup artist. Some of it, as you can see, machine operator, what does that have to do with it, right? So they might be pulling makeup as like, the tasks that are needed, makeup this or that, So let's try a different keyword. Let's try cosmetology and see what we have here. Okay, this is a little bit more on point. We've got a lot of hairstylist positions that may or may not be of interest to me, right? But we can look and see a lot of hairstylist positions. Massage therapist, pet stylist. That's kind of cool. So anyway, you can look and see a bunch of different jobs that might be of interest. Let's say that I didn't find exactly what I was looking for in Spokane. Just delete Spokane and do a wide open search. And you may not be willing to move to places where you see it. So Gig Harbor, Washington, I'm not sure where that is. Troy, Michigan, I think. Some of these are like way out there. Queens, New York. But you can still, even if you're not planning to move to Queens, you can still just check out, this one's in Massachusetts, a job description and look at some things that might interest you job-wise, even if you're not really necessarily planning to move there, right? So here's what they want and what they're looking for. Education that you need, okay, you need this license or this license, right? And then here's some other things that you would need in order to be able to start that type of job. You could pick a different one just to get, here's like colorist. That's kind of cool. So this is like hair coloring, etc. Okay, I'm not going to bore us, but this is kind of how you would start your search. If the first search word doesn't yield anything, try 2 or 3 different related search words. Look maybe at Spokane first, because that question kind of asks you to look locally and then broader as well. Okay. Questions there? And it's just a starting point. So you're going to find some that interest you, and you'll write a paragraph describing some of the ones that interest you, where they're at, what types of skills you would need. So information about different companies, but also what is it that you need? So here's the things you'd be doing. Here's what you need. They want an entry level up to a year experience or whatever. If I go to Indeed.com, it's going to be the same setup here. So Indeed.com, again, you'd be doing a search to find jobs that are related to a specific field. Okay. Do I have any questions about that? How to start that? And part 5 is pretty easy. Part 5, you just look at 2 or 3 that you like, that you found, talk about where they're at, talk about some of the skills that they want. And again, we're all trying to relate that back to skills that we have and that we know are valuable. Okay. Any questions? No? All right. So that's your discussion topic. Hang tight for just a second. Let me get my book open. I'm not going to screen share, but I am going to open the quiz and go ahead and go through that early on. I do want to announce I still haven't adjusted grades for the couple quizzes where I know Ben and Alexandria had reported a couple things to me, quiz questions that were kind of odd or whatever. So you'll still see those same quiz grades in there. I haven't updated those yet, but they are on my to-do list. I haven't forgotten you guys. Okay. Hang tight just a second. Let me get to the quiz. And I'm not screen sharing, so I have to make sure. Let me get here. Having some trouble here. Hold on just a second. Hang tight just 1 second, guys. Having a little trouble here. I'm going to black out my screen. Sometimes helps my bandwidth a little bit. Hang tight. Okay, guys, I think I should still have audio working here. I've got the quiz pulled up. And let me start looking at those questions for you guys. So the first question has to do with mindsets, okay? And so we're in chapter 7. And if you look, chapter 7, it begins on page 232. And it's talking about lifelong learning, adopting lifelong learning, thinking about different types of learning styles and types of mindsets. And so you'll see the answer to question 1 right there on page 234. So flag page 234, it's asking you what type of mindset they recommend you have when it comes to school. And then it kind of goes on to page 234, 235, kind of goes on to outline a couple of other types of mindsets that maybe you don't want to have. Okay. So questions 1, 2, 3, and 4 basically come from pages 234 through 238-ish. Okay. And then they kind of start analyzing how to set goals for yourself and how to adopt certain types of mindsets that they recommend. That's going to be on questions 5 and 6. And so if you keep going, those answers should be roughly through about page 239. Okay. There's a section they've got on page 242 of the book, a learning inventory. We're not going to be doing that per se, but what you do want to do is kind of look through some of that stuff. If we've got time next week, we are going to go back and do that survey. So you can flag those pages for now, but they don't really have any of the quiz questions on them. You do need to turn to and mark page 250, where it talks about constructing logical arguments. There's one question for sure about that one. Let me double check here. There are 2, 3. Okay. Questions 7, 8, and 9. All are going to come from that section. Page 250. So it goes on for a couple pages. 250 through 255. Okay. The last question of the quiz comes from page 254 and 255. So mark pages 250 all the way through 255, where it's talking about constructing logical arguments, identifying false information, and lastly, the last question of the quiz, number 10, has to do with avoiding scams. Okay. Any questions about key pages you need to mark in the chapter for the quiz? Okay, awesome. The last thing I'm going to talk about with this group today, so I've been over the assignments, we have our discussion, we have our quiz. The last thing I want to talk about is the survey, the WOIS or WOIS survey. What we do want to do is continue it. I have not posted a grading column for that yet, but I do want to just put a little flag out there to let you know. Let me close the quiz here and go over to that section. Okay, I think I'm sharing again now. So we had a 50-point box for those first 2 surveys. I haven't opened it yet, but I will, and I'll give us 2 weeks to do so. But I'm going to open a second box, also worth 50 points. There's no grades posted for these quite yet. But remember, you would go here. You've got to do that site key to log in, etc. But when you go to assessments, we only completed the first 2. So we did these 2. So upcoming, we're going to look at skills assessment to help you identify careers matching your skills. So we're kind of putting that all together with our job searches, right? Looking at certain types of jobs and what skills you would need for those jobs. And then thinking about, you know, what jobs might fit what skills you have. Okay. And then the last one that we'll do is this one. So again, I haven't posted it yet. It's not due yet. I'll get it posted hopefully in the next day or 2, and then you would have 2 weeks to finish it. But these are items that we're going to work on moving forward with the class, kind of wrapping up for the quarter. Okay. Any questions about any of those items? Okay. So with that, I'm going to let us go a few minutes early, but I do want to make sure that I schedule meetings with those I did not get to meet with. And so I won't be able to meet with all of you right now on this extra time, but I'd like to be able to at least meet with a couple students and then maybe reschedule for later in the week with other students who are on the call as well. Okay. So you're free to log out whenever you'd like. Ben, if you already met with me, for example, Brianna, if you've already met with me about your schedule and you've already got that turned in, you're free to log out at this time. I've got the roll.
Have a good day.
Yep, you too. You too. And so, Rebecca, we didn't get a chance to meet and discuss your worksheet and stuff last time. Paul, I didn't get to see you last week, but I'll reschedule you if needed. Sa, Kinmei, JD. So let's map out a plan here really quick. I've got room to probably meet with 2 students right now, and Austin is already on that list. So I'll be meeting with Austin and 1 other student. Sa, are you available to stick around on the call?
Yes, right now.
Yeah, would you be available to talk about your worksheet?
No, miss, I have class after this class.
Okay.
Yes.
What about Tuesday mornings? I've got a schedule gap on Tuesday mornings.
Tuesday morning, what time?
This time, 9:30.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm also busy right now, but could I do Tuesday morning?
Hold on. Let me get set up here. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Let me get. I have a hard time typing, and my screen doesn't allow me to do
Miss,
the things I want it to do. Oh yes. Hold on.
Miss, I'm available tomorrow between 8:30 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this Sa speaking?
Oh no, it's me, Kim.
You may. Okay. Yeah, I can't see it. I have to. It doesn't allow me to see both screens at the same time unless I set it up a certain way. I've just got the one screen going. So I've got. Kinmei, can you do 9:15 tomorrow?
Yes, 9:15. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, we'll do 9:15 for Kinmei. Saw at 9:30. And then 1 other student was speaking. Who was speaking?
It was me, Paul.
Okay, Paul. And what time, Paul?
So tomorrow, anytime that works for you.
Okay. Let's do 9:45.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll keep it during, like roughly during this class time. Okay.
Okay.
And now, JD. Man, I'm having a hard time with this. There, I can see everybody now.
I'm available pretty much anytime. I can do today if we need.
Okay. Yeah, today I'm probably pretty full. I'm gonna meet with Austin here shortly. It might take the full rest of the class time, and then I have another class after this. What does your schedule look like on Wednesday?
Wednesday would work.
Okay, let's do Wednesday. And I might even do what I've done today where I let everybody out just a few minutes early, and then I'll put you in, let's say 10 o'clock on Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
And let's see. I think that's everybody. So Rebecca and Austin, if you guys will hang out. Juan, did you have a question for me?
I can't do today. I have a class after this.
Okay. What does your schedule look like later in the week?
I'm busy tomorrow with classes and then work. I could probably do Wednesday if it's before 11:30.
Okay. I'm going to put you and JD down for Wednesday. So you can be my 2 students for Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. So I'll probably meet with JD around 10 and meet with you, Rebecca, around 10:15, if that works.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Juan, did you have a question for me?
Well, it was you kind of answered it when you were like when you said about like the whole like meeting late, like if it was okay if I turned mine in late, and we kind of went over that already.
Yes,
Well, we-
yes. I haven't updated the grades yet on those, but you're okay. So like, I'm not
Okay,
going to
then.
penalize anybody. If you met with me and honored your meeting last week and we talked about it, but it was a little complicated and I didn't want to advise you wrong, like you just disregard that deadline. Okay. As long as I know you're
Okay.
working on it. And I am good. It's locked right now, but I am going to unlock it so that way
Okay.
later this week when students do finish after they've met with the counselor, they can still log in and submit it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so if I've already scheduled with you, go ahead and log out, and I'm going to do some individual time with Austin real quick for her appointment. And I'm also